Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Star Wars The Acolyte, Season 1, Episodes 1 and Episode 2. We got Episode 1, which was Lost Found, and we have Episode 2, which was Revenge Justice, or Justice Revenge. I can't remember which one it was there. Welcome, everybody. Before we get started, let me take care of some business. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. There you go. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the videos pop at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms, all the stuff you've been watching, and tries to match them as best as possible, and pops them up into a video right up there. Tries to match it as best as possible. All the stuff you're watching, I should say, and puts a video up there for you to take a look at. And if that is floating your boat there, hit that subscribe button down below there, and it looks like we can hang out for a little bit. So welcome, everybody. Let me get started here. Reaching back. I'm still kind of getting used to things. I switch things around a little bit, so you can notice the microphone's down here now. It's kind of out of my way, but you can still hear me and all that kind of stuff. But still, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episodes. If you haven't seen them, go and watch them. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Just giving you enough time to hit pause, go away, whatever you need to do. Okay. All right. And that will live back down there anyway. So, hey, Cheryl, how's it going? And Yasi, how's it going? Nice to see you guys. Yeah, it's been a little while, but I'm back. This series takes place 100 years before the Empire rises, I guess you could say. And I'm just going to pop that up a little bit more in front of me there. And this is technically the end of the High Republic is what this is. So for those of you who don't know, Disney Disney Star Wars did this whole series on the High Republic, and this is kind of the tail end of it. So they did comics, they did novels, they did a couple of different things. They introduced some new characters. It wasn't floating my boat, quite honestly, so I didn't get into it. But this is kind of their way of bringing it into live action, if you will, is by doing the Acolyte here. And of course, it's headed by Leslie Headland, who did Russian Doll, which is a great show on Netflix. I've covered that, and Is It Worth My Time? So that's what this whole series is going to be about, is taking place during the High Republic, or the end of the High Republic, I should say. And by the way, Yoda is alive at this point in time, so most likely we're going to see a little bit of Yoda come in at some point, maybe just a cameo or something like that. So we open up here with Master Endara, played by Carrie Ann Moss, being attacked in a bar on some planet by an assassin, and the assassin is not using the Force in order to go after this Jedi, and she ends up killing her by not using the Force, basically kind of tricking her into doing it, but still using a knife in order to do this. We also find out that this assassin, is a Force adept as well. And one of the things that got me while I was watching this was Master Endara actually says into a shortwave mic, "We have a Force user here that's attacking me," kind of thing, basically announcing it to someone. And she's using a shortwave microphone. She's using a shortwave communication. So was she working with someone else? Was it a Padawan? Was it another Jedi? Is it somebody else? We never find out, because that isn't part of what's going on here. So anyway, we end up meeting May, who looks a lot like the assassin, and she wakes up aboard a ship, and she is a mechanic, which are this group that will go out and do what astromechs usually do, and work outside the ships and basically do dangerous jobs, even though astromechs usually do this. Yasi says, "I love the use of the jar." Sorry. one of the things about having this new interface that YouTube has done is I can't read anything. I love the use of the Jungian archetypes of shadow and twins. So yeah. Um, I don't think May is the assassin, Cheryl. We already know May is not the assassin. So we end up getting the Jedi's going into talk to May, and this is where we meet Fandar, which has this horrible hairstyle that has been going on for a couple of years now. And I want to say the character Yord, has been introduced already in the High Republic comics, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm really just not liking the character. But anyway, um, he knows May. We find out that she used to be a Padawan as well. She used to be in the Jedi Order, was kicked out for some reason, and they have a history. So she's going to be arrested, and we also find out that she had a sister that died at some point in time. Immediately, my first thought that went off was, okay, so we're dealing with twins here. So yeah, uh, and the whole thing is, I don't know. One of the things and I'm going to go off on a little tangent here before I start, go into more of the review. A lot of r- recent, and by recent I mean the last like 10 years or so, of um movies, TV shows, franchises, things like that, have been taking established franchises and then shoehorning them into situations. So, what if you do a murder mystery with Star Wars? What if you do noir with Spider-Man? What if you do this? So it's not character driven, it's not story driven, it's situational driven. Like, what two genres can we take together, mash together, and make as a product that people will sell? And that's what we're getting here. Is we're getting Star Wars done as a murder mystery or a thriller or a revenge plot. And instead of actually dealing with the characters, which in this series, in the first two episodes, and it's only 6 episodes, if I remember correctly, it's only 6 episodes, what this series is supposed to be. Um, we don't have any kind of established link to these characters. At least I don't. I don't feel any link to any of these characters as we're going through and doing this. And that's kind of what I'm feeling is happening. Is we're just getting a shoehorn of situations here. Star Wars set as a murder mystery. Uh, and yeah, that's what we're getting on here. Is it horrible? No. Is it good? No. It's kind of in the middle. It's a mediocre sci-fi. It's a Yeah, it's basically a porridge in of stuff that is palatable, but at the same time, it's not great. It's not horrible either. So that's where I'm at with this. Um, so long story short, May is being brought in. She is going to be used as a scapegoat. Essentially, the Jedi are going to kill her because the head of the Jedi Order there, Venestra Rao, tells May's old master, Master Saul, that she's going to be tried for this, and we're going to kill her to make an example, just so we can, we don't lose face in the public, kind of thing. That we don't have a rogue Jedi on our hands until her transport ship gets hijacked, and or I should say the prisoners try to escape on the transport ship, end up crashing, and then of course she ends up meeting her twin Osha through memory things or whatever, through the force, I guess you could say. So it's basically they talk to each other through the force, and both don't realize that each other are alive. So when she was a kid, there was a fire on her home world of Brendok, where the Jedi were stationed, certain Jedi, and her sister supposedly was the one that started the fire. She was the only one that survived. May was supposedly the only one that survived. At least that's what she was told by the Jedi. Uh, Same thing. Osha was told that May had died, and then was supposedly being raised by this dark figure who has been tasked. We see him or her at the beginning, or near the beginning in the first episode, telling Osha that you can't defeat a Jedi using the Force. You need to do it without using the Force. You can only defeat them. The only way you can become an acolyte is by defeating them without using the Force, kind of thing. So, yeah, that's where this all comes about. So we find out that Osha is on a revenge mission to kill the 4 Jedi that were there on Brendok during this whole thing. Indara was one of them. Master Saul was another one. Master Torben was also one. And Master Torben is on this world, and he has taken the Baroth Oak. Excuse me, Baroth vow, which is a vow of silence. And basically, he's in a trance where he's floating using the Force, and no one can get to him. He's got a force field around him as well. And we see Osha trying to kill him, by, trying to penetrate the Force, and she can't. And she ends up going back to her contact on this planet, Kamir, by the way, played by. So it took me a while to figure out. I was looking at Kamir and I'm like, I know this dude from someplace. Where have I seen him before? And it's played by Manny Jacinto from The Good Place. He played Jason, the stoner dude, which made me laugh. I don't know why. It just really did. That he was this dude who can make a poison that he ends up giving to Osha. And so Osha and Master Torben, have this discussion about what happened. She goes, "I know what you did. I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna tell everyone what you did, and you can make it right by taking this poison, kind of thing." And he does drink the poison and dies. And of course, this is when Master Saul, along with his Padawan Jeki and Yord, um, end up, of course, finding him. I should say that May finds him first, and everyone at first thinks that she did it. But Yord's like, no, I was following her. He was dead when we got here, kind of thing. And we do find out there's a 4th Jedi who is a Wookiee, Kilnaka, and that she finally learns at the place. Osha finds out the place where he's going to be at, and she's going to go there to go and kill him. That's what the next mission is. So again, this is just really, it's kind of a paint by numbers murder mystery is really what it is. It's not great. It's not right now. I'm going to say right now, Vernestra is the bad guy, the one dressed in black, the one who is the Sith Lord, if you will. And it's pretty obvious. I mean, as soon as they said that, May had a sister, I was like, oh, it's a twin sister. That's who did it, kind of thing. It's fairly heavy handed in the writing. I'm sorry, Leslie Headland, if you're out there, but yeah, it is really heavy handed writing on this one and not that great. So I'm going to go to the comments here real quick. Sorry, it's honestly, it's like at 8-point font. It's really hard to see unless I put my glasses on here. So Yasi says, oh, good point about the melange of genres, but let's give it time to grow. Yeah, I'm going to give it time to grow, obviously. But I mean, it's got 6 episodes and we're already a quarter of the way in. So a third of the way in, actually. Let me just make sure that that's actually how many episodes we've got here. Season 1. I'm on IMDb at the moment, taking a look at this. But, I take that back. There's 8 episodes. So we're a quarter of the way through. Even so, at a quarter of the way through, we should have had some kind of connection to one of the characters at this point. And honestly, I have no connection to any of these characters whatsoever. Joseph Richie, how's it going, Richie? Joseph, excuse me. I don't want to bother you, but when you're done talking about episode 1, I have some questions for you. Yeah, once I get done here, then you can shoot. Yasi says, is it focused on the flaws of the Jedi Order? So that's the other thing too, is and I forgot to mention this. The whole feeling that I get out of this is that the Jedi at this point in the High Republic are more of a police force than anything else, and people seem afraid of them, quite honestly. We see the Jedi Temple where Master Torben is kind of just being there, sitting in the middle of this town and people avoiding it, kind of like they would avoid a police station, if you will, and not wanting to fuck with it at all. And that's kind of the tone I'm getting as to what the Jedi Order is. They're a police force. There's also at the very beginning the blurb that's at the beginning is we see the Jedi are going through the galaxy and collecting force sensitive children, much like Palpatine is doing in the Empire. Once he takes over the Empire, is Palpatine start taking over force sensitive, collecting force sensitive children and turning them to the dark side. Um, so really, we're not seeing any difference from the Jedi to the Sith, other than ideology at this point. And I don't know if that's what we're supposed to be getting at here, is that it's just the ideologies that they are the same, and that's what we're supposed to be getting out of this. I don't know, but it's really heavy-handed writing at this point that needs to be more clarified, I guess you could say, and also be a little more deft at explaining this, if you will. And we're not getting that at this point. But it is an interesting concept that yes, the Sith and the Jedi, and it's been brought up before, the Sith and Jedi are the same, that basically it's just their ideologies that are different and how they go about doing it. One uses brutality, one uses honey, if you will. So yeah. And Yasi also says here, it's focused on the flaws of the Jedi Order. It's interesting. Ahsoka was so character driven. Again, I'm very yeah. Ahsoka, again, you have Dave Filoni, who is a character driven person, and that's why the Clone Wars was so good. I mean, because even though you had clones that were, identical matches of each other, but they all had different personalities, so you actually felt each character was different within the Clone Wars. And that was an animated series. Here you have a live action series, 2 episodes in, where honestly I have to have a roster written down here of who's who, uh, in all of this. I don't like Yord so far. Jackie, who is played by Daphne Keene, who played Wolverine's daughter in Logan. Uh, she's there as a Padawan. Okay. Master Saul, not really feeling anything here. May is eh, and honestly, her little robot that she's got, or Pip, I think is what his name is just a MacGuffin, so that she has whatever tools available at her hands at that given time. Um, Really, it's just that's what Pip is a MacGuffin, and I can see this being sold at Disneyland, Disney World, all that kind of stuff. They're going to sell it at some point in time, and yeah. But yeah, the story just isn't there for me at the moment, and I know there's people out there talking about woke this, woke that. Fuck you on your woke, whatever your woke bullshit is, your aversion to all of that. It's not that at all. This is just mediocre storytelling. Is really what it is. So, Yasi says, in my opinion, it's not the murder mystery because we already know they are twin sisters. How the arrogance of the Jedi's during the High Republic put them on the slope that we know. Possibly. I really don't know where they're going with this. And again, it goes back to Indara. Who is she working with? She was in communication with somebody that was short range. Was that somebody a Sith? Was it Vernestra, which I think it was? I think it might have been Vernestra that she was contacting. And why were they looking for? What was she doing in the bar there? She was just kind of hanging out in the bar. Jedi don't hang out in the bars. What was her mission on that world? What was she doing there? That's one thing Master Saul never goes into. He never goes into the why was she there? Why was Indara there? Was she lured there? What was her mission there? That's one of the first things when you go into investigating uh, a murder, I guess, is why were these people in these locations? What were they doing? Who were they involved with? And you have none of that going on in this story. Like I said, it's bad writing at this point. So yeah, you know uh Jackie David Bowie Padawan. Yeah. Yasi says exactly because of those woke toxic people. I want to highlight the positive of the show. Yeah, there is positives of this show. It's just the writing is not one of them, unfortunately. I wish it was. Yeah, I really want this. I want this to do better. I like Leslie Headland. I've seen her stuff. I like what she does, and I was looking forward to this. I mean, I really was looking forward to this show. And the first two episodes are not wowing me. It's not. Yeah, it's not bringing me into this. So I don't know what to say at that point. Um, but yeah. Um, anyway, with that said, and of course we're going to go off and we're going to see the Wookiee Jedi Kelnaka as well next episode. Um, Joseph says it's a murder mystery. In every murder mystery, a death is in the opening scene. And murder mysteries, you know who the murderer is. What you don't know is who is the criminal. Yeah, well, that's true. Um, but even now, I mean, like Cheryl was saying that maybe Osha's the good twin and May's the bad twin. That we might have it reversed at that point. That would be an interesting twist. Cheryl, yes, I meant to get back to you on that, so I did get back to you on that. Um, that would be an interesting twist, and that is an interesting theory, quite honestly. Uh, is that going to happen with this level of writing? I don't think so. Um, I don't think we have that kind of adeptness at the writing at the moment, unfortunately. Celebro says, heard a theory that Kamar is the bad guy making himself a buffoon to seem innocent. That would be interesting as well, but I really do think it's Vernestra is the the head of the Jedi Order at the moment. Um, and I think the reason for that is because she was so quick to throw May under the bus and just going, we're going to sacrifice her just so that, no one, looks at the Jedi Order sideways. No one has a reason to question. That's not Jedi like at all. You do not sacrifice people just because. And, well, later on with the whole Ahsoka thing, yes, you do kind of get that, but still, um, yeah, I'm really thinking it's Vernestra, and also with whoever Indara was talking to, um, that's I don't think she was talking to Kamir. I want to say it was Vernestra. Joseph says everyone. That's the definition of murder mystery. Yeah, true. I mean, hopefully we start getting some some more fleshing out of details, I guess you could say, in the next episode. I don't know if we will or not. What's the next episode called? I know they already no, they haven't put up a plot line. They've just put up a picture of a furry Wookiee. That's all it is. No, that's not a euphemism. But so yeah, I mean, I don't know where we're heading with this, but again, like I said, I'm not invested in any of the characters at the moment. Uh, they haven't done anything to make me invested in any of the characters. The story is kind of middling at this point because yes, it's a murder mystery, but we should be further along at this point. We shouldn't be, two dead Jedi's down out of four. You know, um, at least pace your dead Jedi deaths. I would have said, you didn't have Master Torben die until at least episode 3, and then you could have gone into, Kanaka, unless they're going to delve into. And this is the other thing too. You don't hire someone like Carrie Ann Moss to just do a cameo to die at the very beginning and that's it, unless you're doing a slasher movie, you know, and you want to be cheeky about it. But I want to say that there's more to the story with Indara than what we've already seen there. Yasi says it depends if this is the third person point of view narrative. Oh yeah, the unreliable narrator. I can see that as well happening, Yasi. But again, the unreliable narrator is such a bad crutch to do writing on, because you can leave out so much, but at the same time, if you're not keeping track of every breadcrumb that you're laying down, you can screw yourself in the end in the writing, and it'll come off like really, really bad. So Joseph says future episodes will explain Torben's suicide. It was a significant story. Yeah, I agree. It's he was involved in they're all involved in something on Brendok. Master Saul is not being forthcoming to May about what happened to her family and how her family died. There's something out there that he's not saying. He's keeping something back. There's a reason why he's just teaching younglings and not doing anything more. He's got some kind of guilt, this burden of guilt on him. So, yeah. Disappointment she's not collecting the lightsabers of the ones she kills. I'm okay with that, Celebro. That's more of a General Grievous kind of thing, and I liked that General Grievous was doing that, and it was kind of one of his more, I guess you could say, one of his more quirks that I liked. Oh, by the way, my water bottle. So, yeah. She's an acolyte, not that I know she's an acolyte, not a Sith, but the way they are setting this up so far is very Sith-like. Cheryl said something bad happened on that planet, and one or more of the Jedi. Yeah, I agree with you, Cheryl. Yeah, and again, we're not getting the full story as of yet, which is leading to unreliable narrator, and then also just the bad plotting as well. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to pop out the chat because there we go. Much better. That's a little easier for me. I can see all of your chats now, which is a lot easier to do. Why? So no, I don't think I don't think that OSHA's going to bleed into the lightsabers, but the reason for her not collecting the lightsabers, I don't know. I really don't know. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm still going to keep watching. I'm still going to keep covering this. It's not the worst thing I've watched, and it's not the best thing I've watched, obviously. So it's fallen in between and all of this. It's like I said before, it's kind of on the mediocre side at the moment. So that's where we're at. Yes, Cheryl, Dooku did go to the dark side after seeing some. Well, he didn't. He disagreed with the way the Jedi were handling things, and the whole, from a certain point of view, that was what he had problems with, and I agree with him. So what Cheryl is referring to is, if you go back and take a look at Tales of the Jedi, especially the last Tales of the Jedi, we had Count Dooku. Excuse me. Yeah, Tales of the Jedi talks about Count Dooku and pretty much how he turned to the dark side and why. And you have to agree with him at that point when you're looking at what he saw, what he did, and why he changed over. It was like, yeah, there's a reason why he switched over and said, yeah, becoming a Sith is the way to go at this point, too, because the Jedi are just as corrupt. And again, it goes back to what I was saying, was the only difference between the Sith and the Jedi is ideology. So, which bottle? You talking about the bottle right up here? My bottle of fucks that I have up there to give? Is that what you're talking about, Yassi? Yeah, this guy right there. So yeah, that's where we're at with all of this. But anyway, I'm not going to belabor the point any further. Again, I'll be covering this next week as well. What else do I have going on at the moment here? Let's see what's going to be next week. I forgot even what my own schedule was at this point. So if you go over to suspendedfanimation.com, you'll see the schedule. I change it out every week. I also have what's coming up next week here. The Boys is coming out on the 13th, which is on Thursday, which means I'll be covering it on Friday on the 14th. I'm going to try and cover this one. I won't be able to cover this on Wednesday night. I can't do it obviously on Tuesday because everyone's going to be asleep at that point. But I will be, covering it probably. I might do it on Thursday. I might do that on Thursday, and then I can watch The Boys and then do that on Friday. I think that's what we're going to do that way. And then House of the Dragon, of course, comes out on the 16th as well. So that's going to be next week as well. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out here. So Marvel's Hit Monkey is going to be coming out in July, which the second season of that. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's an animated series on Hulu. The first season is pretty fucking good, I have to admit. It's a lot of fun. Jason Sudeikis does one of the voices on there. So end of episode 1, they reveal the Master and Master's voice. Yes. What did you guys think about the voice? That's why I said it. I'm leaning towards that being a Vernestra as the Master. So, yeah. That's what I was saying, Joseph. I think it's Vernestra who is the head of the Jedi Order there. She was the one that was giving Master Saul his directions, his orders, if you will, his marching orders. And I'm fairly sure it's her. That is the Master. So, all right. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you to everyone who joined me today in the chat. And thank you right out there, for watching here. If you are still on the fence about, joining up here, take a look at the videos pop up at the very end here and over here. If you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below. I think it's going to be over here. And also, if you want to take a look and see when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. Thank you, everyone. Oh, Joseph, I talked about that early on. I mean, it's pretty. It is her, Joseph. All right. I kind of figured that was going to be her. Thank you, everyone. I will see you again probably on Wednesday or Thursday. I'm thinking at this point. I might have an Is It Worth My Time on Monday. We'll see what's happening. Again, check the schedule. Like I said, work has been kicking my ass. Work does take a lot out of my time at the moment. So that's the reason why I haven't been on all that much, is just trying to take care of stuff, getting paid at home for home stuff. So anyway, thanks everyone. I will see you again on, well, take a look at the schedule. You'll see when it is. Most likely Monday. But until then, have a good rest of your day. Be safe. Take care. Be well. And have a good rest. Like I said, have a good rest of your day. I'll see you on Monday. Have a good one. See you, everyone.